Olympic Stadium, the architects, including those who created that Kevlar roof that is torn again before today's Tuesday's Met game in Montreal. Howard Johnson batting in the fourth inning of a scoreless game against Oil Can Boyd, and Dennis, well, gives up a gopher ball here because this is a home run for Hojo, his league-leading 58th RBI and league-leading 18th homer of the year. New York leads it 1-0, while UB, well, he's playing with the man who I guess owns the van. Tim Wallach bats against David Cohen, the starter for New York. A 1-0 New York lead in the bottom of the sixth inning is changed into a 1-1 tie. Tim Wallach crashes his ninth home of the year and 37th RBI. It's 1-1 through 7 now, and it's on to the late innings. Bottom 8 tie score, Alejandro Pena now pitching in relief, and he gets Tim Wallach with runners on third and first to bounce into a 5-4-3 DP, go to the ninth, tied at 1. From there, the Mets are happy because they got out of that jam, and they go to the top of the ninth inning, where they have something going. Dave Magadan at the plate against Scott Ruskin now in relief. New York has runners on second and first, and 2 are away. Dave Magadan hits a RBI single into center field. Kevin Elster scores the go-ahead run. New York leads it 2-1. The play at the plate, and Howard Johnson is out trying to score from first base. So New York takes a 2-1 lead into the bottom of the ninth inning. That's where John Franco comes in with runners on third and first, 2 out. He strikes out Junior Noboa to end it, although Rick Cerrone does have to throw to first to end it. New York wins 2-1. Franco 17th save. Alejandro Pena 5-0. Barry Jones 3-6. Montreal loses their 9th straight. Losers of 9 straight are entertaining the Mets at Olympic Stadium on Wednesday. Howard Johnson at the plate against Chris Haney, looking for his first major league win. And the first inning performance won't do it because Hojo hits his 19th home run of the year, leads the league, and his 60th RBI of the lead, leads the league. A 2-run shot, 2-0 Mets through 1. Top 3, Hubie Brooks at the plate. He singles up the middle to give New York a 3-0 lead as big man Kevin McReynolds scores. And New York would take that lead through the middle innings. And Youpie, I know the Philly Fanatic. You're no Philly Fanatic. Top 6, New York still leads at 3-0, and Chris Haney to Rick Cerrone. Cerrone lifts a fly ball to right field. Dave Martinez makes the great play, but drops it. So Cerrone has a single, but Cerrone is bold, going for second. Dave Martinez throws him out. I don't think you should have tried it, Rick. In the bottom of the sixth inning, Ron Darling still pitching a shutout here, getting Marquise Grissom to ground out third to first to end the sixth inning. Ron Darling would pitch 8 innings before being relieved and give up but 2 hits. That's true in part due to the good defense behind Darling in this contest. Tommy Herb playing second base here takes the Delino DeShields smash and makes the out at first base in the bottom of the 7th inning. So New York is leading 3-0 in the top of the 8th inning when Tommy Herr goes from the field to the batter's box. He delivers an RBI single. Rick Cerrone chugs home from second base, and Herr goes to second on the throw home. New York leads it through 8 innings, 4-0. And in the bottom of the 9th inning, Alejandro Pena comes in to keep that 4-0 New York lead here, getting Ivan Calderon to ground out to end it. New York wins 4-0. Montreal loses their 10th straight. Ron Darling 5-5, Chris Haney 0-3. Mets are trying to finish off a 4-game sweep of the Montreal Expos, who have lost 10 games in a row. Kevin Elster at the plate in the top of the first inning against starter for Montreal, Brian Barnes. Elster hits one deep into the left field bleachers. That goes for his 4th homer of the year, and it's a 1-0 New York lead on the Soul Blast. And although we are in Canada, there are USA fans and, of course, Met fans in the audience. New York starter Wally Whitehurst impressive early and in the middle innings. Here in the 4th, striking out Tim Wallach to end the inning. Whitehurst would go into the 7th before yielding a run. And Montreal going through tough times. They want Buck Rogers back. That's Dave Dombrowski, the Expos general manager. He's exasperated because of the sign? No, because of this. Eric Bullock on second base, 1 out. 6th inning, Marquis Grissom, ground ball to the left side. Bullock shouldn't be going, but he is, and he's out. Expos run themselves out of an inning. Dombrowski says, dumb. He's dumbfounded. And in the bottom of the 7th inning, speaking of dumb, this is pretty dumb. Runner on third, Wally Whitehurst. Well, he's called for a balk, and Ivan Calderon scores, tying up the game at 1-1. The Mets get the run back in the top half of the 8th inning thanks to plays like this. Spike Owen throw to Delino DeShields on the Kevin McReynolds ground ball is said to have pulled DeShields off the bag. Kevin Elster is safe at second base as Tom Reynolds argues feverishly with Eric Gregg. Howard Johnson follows with the game-winning run as he doubles down the left field line. This enables Kevin Elster to score. New York leads it 2-1 through 8th. Greg Jeffries gets a pinch hit two-run home run off of Barry Jones in the 9th inning, his 6th homer of the year. First ever career pinch hit home run. New York leads it 4-1. Then Kevin McReynolds in the 9th gets an infield hit and a throwing error by Barry Jones, enabling Gary Templeton to score. 5-1 New York. That was the final. New York with a 4-game sweep as the Expos lose their 11th straight. Tim Berg 3-4, Wally Whitehurst 5-4.
Berg, Devon Calderon isn't crying, but Expo fans are, as they've lost 11 in a row, their longest losing streak since 1977. Things aren't getting any better here in the first. Andy Van Slyke singles home Orlando Merced. Pirates up 1-0 on Van Slyke's 40th RBI of the season. But in the top of the third, Spike Owens puts the Expos up 2-1. He hits an opposite field double off starter John Smiley. Round to score pitcher Dennis Martinez and Marquise Grissom. RBIs 12 and 13 for Owen, and the Expos are up 2-1 in the third inning. Devon Calderon will be representing the Expos in the All-Star game. In the fifth inning, he shows why. Here a single through the right side scores Marquise Grissom to put the Expos up 3-1. In the bottom half of the frame, he shows a little expertise in the outfield. Orlando Merced sends a long fly ball to the wall in left field. Reaching up is Calderon with the grab at the wall. But then the hero turns into the GOAT. The next batter is Jay Bell. He sends a harmless fly ball to left center field. Marquise Grissom and Calderon spend more time looking at each other than the ball. It drops in, and Bell winds up on second base. The play proved costly as Bell later came home to score. With Bobby Bonilla facing Dennis Martinez, Bonilla singles into right field. Home to score is Jay Bell, and the game was 3-2 in the fifth inning. The next inning, starter John Smiley helps his own cause as he knocks the game at 3 with a line single off the glove of Spike Owen. Around from second is Mike LaValliere with the game's tying run. It was 3-3 after 6. But in the top of the 7th, the Expos would push ahead again. This time it's pinch hitter Dave Martinez plating Dennis Martinez. He hits a ground rule double deep to left center field. Up and over the wall, around to score is Dennis Martinez, and the Expos recaptured the lead 4-3 with Dave Martinez's 24th RBI. 4-3 was the Expos' margin of victory as they finally end their losing streak at 11 games. Dennis Martinez, their all-star pitcher and league leader in ERA, goes the distance for the 4-3 win to raise his record to 10-5 as John Smiley drops to 9-6.
Orlando Merced and Curtis Wilkerson learned how to use the camera during a 44-minute rain delay. But when game resumed in the top of the third inning, Andy Van Slyke will rob Spike Owen of a base hit with a running shoestring grab through the puddles. A nice play by Van Slyke. Top of the fourth inning, Devon Calderon would hit a sacrifice fly, and then Tim Wallach follows that up with his own sacrifice fly to left field. Delino DeShields tags at third and scores, and the Expos lead 2-0. Move now to the bottom of the fifth inning. Jose leaned with a fly ball to right field. Dave Gallagher back on it, but he'll drop the ball and crash into the wall. Gary Varsho scored for the Cubs, and the Expos lead is cut to 2-1. We'll take another look at the misplay in right field by Dave Martinez. Bottom of the seventh inning now, Mark Gardner pitching a fine game for the Expos. Strikes out Bobby Bonilla. And all Bonilla can do is take off his hat to the Expos pitcher. Bottom of the ninth inning, man on, nobody out. Gardner goes over to first base. Harry Wendelstadt calls a balk on Gardner. Sends Ritas over to second base. But Tom Reynolds will come out to argue. And Wendelstadt defers to Randy Marsh. Marsh overrules Wendelstadt. And out comes Jim Leland to argue with Marsh and Wendelstadt about the call. Still in the bottom of the ninth inning now, the bases would be full of Pirates with 2 outs. But Tim Burke gets Lloyd McClendon to ground out to end the game. The Expos win 2-1. Gardner the winner, he's 4-5. Bob Walk the loser, he's 6-1. And Tim Burke picked up his 5th save. And the Montreal Expos on Sunday afternoon look to sweep the Pittsburgh Pirates heading into the All-Star break. Bottom of the first inning, Dave Martinez will field Andy Van Slyke's ball hit to the right field corner. He throws it to Delino DeShields. DeShields gets it over to Tim Wallach as Andy Van Slyke tries to go for three, but he's denied by the nice relay work by the Expos. Top of the second inning now, Ron Hatsey will get a base hit to right field. Andre Scalaraga will head to third base as Gary Vasho gets it into Jay Bell. Bell fires over to first base as they get Hatsey taking the big turn at first and catch him for the out. But he makes up for that blunder in the top of the fifth inning with a solo homer to right field off of Doug Drabeck. For Hatsey, it's his first home run with the Expos, and it gave Montreal a 1-0 lead. But the Pirates scored three times in the bottom of the fifth inning. Doug Drabeck helps out his cause with a base hit to center field off of Dennis Boyd. Mike LaValliere in, RBI number 1 for Drabeck, and we're tied at 1. Then Orlando Merced will hit a fly ball to left field off of Boyd. Yvonne Calderon over to get to the ball, but he drops it. Jose Lean came in to score for the Pirates, 2-1 Pittsburgh. Doug Drabeck scored on a sac fly, and that made it 3-1 after 5 as we take another look at Calderon's misplay in left field. Top of the sixth inning, Doug Drabeck had his strikeout pitch going this afternoon as he strikes out Dave Martinez to end the sixth inning. For Drabeck, that's his 9th strikeout in the game. Bottom of the eighth inning, Jose Gonzalez would get a base hit to center field off the wall. He's the last Major League player to get a hit who was on the roster at the beginning of the year. He was 0 for 29. He spent his first 28 bats with the Dodgers. As the Pirates win 6-1, Doug Drabeck, he's the winner. He's 8-1. Dennis Oil Can Boyd, the loser. He's 4-8. Stan Belinda picked up his 7th save.
Ready to go live with the news. Breaking ball on the ground for DeShields. Butler out at first. 9 innings of no-hit ball for Mark Gardner, but no score in the game. With the Expos not having scored, he has not caved in to frustration. Tough chance. That'll be the first Dodger hit of the game. 9 innings of no-hit ball, and Lenny Harris legs out an infield hit. Osteen and Sutton. 3-2, lined into the gap, right center. There goes the streak, and here comes Dave Martinez with an Expos run. Their first in 30 innings. Walker to third base. The Expos lead 1-0. The Dodger streak ends at 38 2/3. Off the end of the bat, Calderon in left. 1 down, 2 to go. And the Dodger Stadium fans are with him pitch for pitch. 1-2 pitch. In the air. Center field. Grissom. El Presidente. El Perfecto.
Mesdames, Messieurs, accueillons, let's welcome El Presidente Dennis Martinez.
Une balle frappée en flèche hors la portée de Ton à l'arrêt-court. Alors, DeShields au premier coussin, aucun retrait des Expos. 3 ballons de prise. Au ballon en direction du champ centre-droit, longue course pour Grissom. À la piste de l'avertissement, à la clôture, il saute, la balle donne contre la clôture. Dalton contourne le troisième, on le pousse au membre. Le relais de Martinez à Owen. Owen lance à Gilberto. Il est sauve. Il a juste passé hors de la portée de la jambière de Gilberto. 2 balles, 2 prises. Et la balle est frappée solidement en direction du champ gauche. Calderon en course. À la piste de l'avertissement, saute, c'est un circuit. Alors, 4 balles cassantes et finalement, ce dernier-là est demeuré suspendu.
Cincinnati Reds played host to the Montreal Expos on Wednesday evening. In the bottom of the second inning, Sabo would get the Reds on the board with a 2-run home run to left field off of Dennis Martinez. Sabo's 20th home run of the year. He picks up Paul O'Neill, RBI 62 and 63, and it's 2-0 Cincinnati. Top of the third inning, Tom Browning pitched a strong game for the Reds as he strikes out Delano DeShields with a runner on second base to end the third inning. Bottom of the third, Barry Larkin would put 2 more runs on the board with a triple to the right center field gap. Mariano Duncan and Hal Morris score for Cincinnati. RBI 57 and 58 for Larkin, 4-0 Reds. 5-0 as Sabo drove in Larkin from third base with a base hit. Bottom of the fourth inning, Mariano Duncan steps up to the plate. He slams a 2-run homer to left field. Home run number 5 for Mariano Duncan. He picks up Tom Browning, and that gave the Reds a 7-0 lead. Hal Morris followed up Duncan's home run with a solo blast of his own, and it's 8-0 Cincinnati. Top of the fifth, Tim Wallach with a solo home run to left field. His 12th of the year, and it's 8-1 Cincinnati through 4.5 innings. 9-1 now in the bottom of the sixth inning when Mariano Duncan will strike again. This one a 2-run homer to left field, and he also picks up Tom Browning once again. His second home run of the ball game, 6th of the year, 11-1 Reds. Top of the seventh, Yvonne Calderon will lead off the inning with a solo homer off of Browning. Calderon's 18th of the year, RBI number 72, and it's 11-2 Cincinnati through 7. The Expos get a run in the 9th inning, but the Cincinnati Reds defeat the Expos 11-3. Tom Browning, the winner, he's 13-8. Martinez, the loser, he's 12-9.
Bottom of the first, bases are loaded for Pedro Guerrero. He hits a fly ball to right field. It goes off the glove of the Canadian Larry Walker. Ray Langford and Ozzie Smith come into count, and the Cardinals are up 2-0. Bottom of the fourth, 3-0 Cards. Bases are loaded for Todd Zeal. He hits a shot deep to center field. Marquise Grissom can't make the play. It will clear the bases. And with that, the Cardinals up 6-0. Bottom of the fifth inning now, an 8-0 Cardinals putting this game away. Ozzie Smith takes Steve Fry deep to left field. Missed this one goodbye. 2-run shot for Ozzie Smith. Cardinals up 10-0 at that point. Montreal would add 1 run, but to no avail. 10-1 was the final score. Ozzie Smith with his 3rd home run of the season. Jeff Lucero picked up his 9th save as Montreal won the 2nd game of this series. 5-1 was the final in Game 2.
This game up, top of the first, already 1-0 Expos. Larry Walker double to the wall. Brett Barbary will come in to score. Walker is in with a stand-up double. The Montreal Expos lead 2-0. Bottom of the second, St. Louis evens the score. Gilberto Reyes throw to second, trying to pick off Todd Zeal, goes into center field. Ray Langford was on third, he scores easily. And then Todd Zeal heads to third. Marquise Grissom's throw goes into the dugout. Zeal scores, game tied at 2. Now to the bottom of the sixth, score tied at 3. Gerald Perry hits into a fielder's choice. Expos cannot turn the double play. Felix Jose scores, what turns out to be the game's winning run. As the Expos cannot come back from the 4-3 deficit. Lee Smith gets to save his 43rd of the season.
The Montreal Expos are finishing the rest of the season on the road because Olympic Stadium is currently deemed unfit to use after a 55-ton cement slab fell from its exterior about 2 weeks ago. Expos President Claude Brochu announced on Wednesday that if the National League doesn't receive a guarantee in the next few weeks that Olympic Stadium is safe to play in, there will be no baseball in Montreal next year. The Expos are shopping for a new director of scouting today. Gary Hughes has left Montreal to join the expansion Florida Marlins. Hughes will join former Expos general manager Dave Dombrowski, who quit last week to become the Marlins' first general manager.
The Montreal Expos had the day off. They're on their way to Pittsburgh. This series was supposed to be played in Montreal, but with the Big O falling apart, the remaining games have had to be rescheduled.
From Pittsburgh, last of the first, Bobby Bonilla drills the ball into the alley. That sends Don Slott on the run. The Expos get the ball in, but Slott will arrive safely. And with that, the game is tied at 1 apiece. Top of the second, John Vanderwall pokes an extra base hit. Cashing in is Larry Walker. Montreal regains the lead 2-1. Top of the seventh, Nelson Santavania lifts a fly ball to center field. Andres Galarraga will watch it. Tag up, come in to score easily. 3-2 Expos. Really no effort to try and get him by the Pirates. 3-2 Montreal at that point, and that's the way this one ended. Mel Roja coming in for his 5th save. The Expos having a good month of September.